that the coup has succeeded and that the president has been ousted. So, so that is the problem we have with social media at the moment. Social media fuels this kind of thing. And it is not only negative information that social media fuels, it also fuels positive information. But like you and I know, in this our profession, they say that when a man bites a dog, that is when it is the news. But when the dog bites him, it is not the news. It is bad information travels faster than good information. And social media, particularly in a place like Nigeria, where people use social media for a lot of functions, for political vendetta, we use it for ethnic division, religious division, and things like that. We find that all manner of information are traded on social media, deliberate falsehood. It's published on social media. People know that this information is not correct, but because they want to use it to wound their political enemies, or they want to use it to score religious points, to plan ethnic embers and things like that, they will deliberately put it out there. And all these things affect the psyche of the people, and all those things affect security of life and properties. All these things affect peace. They affect peace and affect the stability of countries and of governments. But there is nothing anybody can do about social media as it is. What those authorities can do is to also up their hands to make sure that they respond quickly and effectively to whatever information they believe is in social media that is not correct, by coming out with accurate and correct information. And that is where I think government is still lacking. Government is still lethargic. Government is still behaving as they are acting as business as usual. They are reluctant to release information. Even though we have Freedom of Information Act in Nigeria today, it takes, in fact, it is like asking for the moon when you approach those in government to release information. Even when you cite Freedom of Information Act, they still don't budge. So you have a situation therefore where you are left with whatever information is at your disposal. That is what we disseminate. So if we are going to be able to stem the tide of negative social media, the people who have the correct information must be ready to release it timely. Not just release it only after the harm has been done. You must be up and doing. You must not be reactive. You must be possible. You have the information, release it before a negative information is released. And you should not be running after the news. You should run before the news. Let people know that you will release the information, and let people know that if they come to you, that they will get the accurate information from you. But in a situation where that is not possible, people will get information from whatever source they can get it.
But let's talk about why it seems like external sanctions or even diplomatic pressure seem a lot less effective now than in the past. In the past, if there's a coup somewhere in Africa, Nigeria waits in, before you know it, we're having a return back to democracy and all of that. And how much do you also think that the presence of new foreign players is making it easier for juntas to also consolidate power? You're hearing of, we don't want U.S. influence in our country anymore. We are now aligning with Russia, or we're now aligning with France and all of that. So two things: external sanctions. We saw that ECOWAS, the AU, all that they did in some of the recent coups, shutting borders, stopping businesses with all of these countries, but the juntas didn't budge. And then the influence of external, foreign players as well.
Yeah, you see, there is a limit to which external influence can come in if the people within the territory concerned are supportive. If they are supportive of the coup, in a situation where majority of the people are supportive, any external influence that is coming in, we think twice. Because when you go into a country to fight a military rule, a military government that is supported by the government, you are going to be bogged down there. You are going to spend a lot of resources there. It's going to be very, very difficult for you. And then another reason why you find that a lot of external factors, you find that external factors are not as much as what we used to have in the past is because everybody has his own problems. Everyone has his own problems. U.S., NATO, they are bogged down in Ukraine. Russia fight. Russia is bogged down there. China is busy pursuing its own economic policies and things like that. A lot of foreign countries have realized that they are wasting money on external fights and things like that. It has not profited them much. All the money that the U.S. has spent fighting in Afghanistan, fighting in Syria, fighting in Libya, fighting in Iraq, fighting in Iran, and all those other places, they count their loss in trillions of dollars. And there is a new move now that you don't go about fighting all those wars. Instead of spending money developing your own country, they have seen the example of China. China is not getting involved with any external debacle like that. They are just quietly developing their own economy, and they are catching up with the rest of the world, leaving the rest of the world backward. I'm just giving people examples. People are saying, see the example of China. Why can't you follow the example of China? So a lot of people now are reluctant to commit themselves to external wars like they used to do in the past. You find in the U.S. now a government that is looking inward, that is trying to rebuild its economy, that is trying to compete, that is trying to make sure that it is not left behind by China. You find other countries that are also looking at their economic problems because every country of the world has been impacted by this global economic recession. So everybody is trying to limit to limit what it does outside its shores. That is one. Yeah, apart from that is the fact that the countries where you have all these problems, what is the economic benefit to you? You want to go and fight in a country, you want to go and do this, what is the economic benefit to you? And what is the rate of success that you expect when you look at the experiences you have had in the past? After how many decades in Afghanistan, didn't the superpowers, whether it's US, whether it's Russia, didn't they leave the place bleeding? After all that has been done in Libya, what is the result? In Syria, what is the result? In Iran, in Iraq, what is the result? What have you benefited? So when you do the cost-benefit analysis, you see that the external interventions is beginning to lose its allure for people because they come to see that the cost of it far outweighs the benefit that they get from it. And of course, a lot of all these external influences, they too are not happy with the civilian government in these countries. We can see the example of Nigeria, that the U.S. has come to declare us a country of a particular concern. They are not happy with the way we are ruling the country. So is that the type of government you expect the U.S. to come and defend if there is a coup? So many of these countries that where you have these coups, you have state leaders, you have leaders that did not take care of the interests of their people. Now they have been overthrown. And this is the kind of people that we expect any foreign intervention to come and save them so that they can continue their dictatorship, they can continue their corruption, they can continue their misrule. Is that the type of intervention that you want to bring about? So it is now becoming very clear that every state has to look after itself. The days of when you expect one hegemon to come and begin to fight your battles and begin to install you in power is gone. So most countries now want to look after their own interests. Everybody has enough of his own problems to look after and not begin to play policeman of the world. Even the U.S. that has been playing the police sound of the world is having a rethink, looking inward, because it has discovered that it has neglected its own home front while fighting battles all over the place, and those battles have not yielded it much. So I don't think any country in Africa now should still be thinking of riding on the back of the U.S. or riding on the back of Russia or anything like that to sustain bad government in power. It appears as if that is proceeding, and the alternative now is for every government to try and do the right thing and have the support and the confidence, the backing of their citizens, rather than look to foreign intervention to keep them in power.
All right.
What we have in the Benin Republic is just a game. Is a game of self-interest, or you could call it selfish interest. It is not as if the governments that have intervened, ECOWAS or whatever that have intervened in the republic, are doing that because they believe that the government there is doing well. It's because they have seen that the coup is getting close to their borders, and they don't want that. It's a game of self-interest that is playing out in the Benin Republic.
All right, we're streaming live on Facebook, so you can join the conversation there. Just search for Super FM 92.7 Lagos. Do the same on YouTube as well. You can call the studio lines now. I would still like to ask you, Mr. Bolawale, how Nigeria can rebuild confidence in credible elections, transparency, and the rule of law, because these three things stands at the core of challenges that many people have with democracy. But let's take a few calls and we'll get to that. 0805 092 0927, 0805 092 0927, or you call 0802 502 7711. You can also call 0705 6900 927. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is which schools are calling for Lagos.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, you see, it is the military that spoiled this nation. So, Command Azikiwe, Chief Wolowo, and the Abubakar, they are the people that got this independence for us. And they know the kind of government that will suit this country, regional government. By now, Nigeria could be challenging the whole world in economy. Because they know every region we are producing. By now, Nigeria could have challenging, Nigeria could have been the second economy in the whole world after America. Was it not China for 1990s that China pick up? You see? The military are the people that spoil this nation. They are the people that set us backward. Because the kind of government that these three gentlemen brought Nigeria could have taken this Nigeria to the highest right in this whole world. I'm telling you the truth. Regional, every region we are producing, the Southwest we are producing, Southeast we are producing, all of them we are producing. You see, this military went and bring the executive type of government to us, giving us their own constitution. When go out and shout that there is money in Nigeria, they don't know what to do with it. Is it not the civilian government of Nagajiwa and the Belewa that build that money, that economy, that go on wasted?
All right.
With all their awards.
Please wrap up now.
Yes. I'm sorry about this. I don't want to hear about military. Military that people that turn this country upside down.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right. Bad network there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Adekole.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, it is true. The last caller is 100% fact. My own it is true that even the Nigerian military today, they've compromised. They've allowed external forces to be in their midst. And if they should come out to take over, it will be like the Taliban. And I believe, for now, I don't want military. yes, it is true that in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they are doing extremely well. That is true. But we know that democracy too is one of the military we have in Nigeria today. That is just truth. A situation whereby you cannot protest, you cannot fight for your rights. They will deny you and they will shoot you or tear gas you. So you can see that there is nothing to compare with the military and the civilians. Even if I might even consign the military regime, I prefer Abacha. Abacha is one of the best. That is just truth. Abacha is the best because he cares for the poor. But this democracy is on their own. Someone don't wake up one morning and say, everything is gone, and today we are suffering for it. He's suffering for it today. God bless you and God bless Nigeria. Well done, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. You too can be a part of the program this morning. Call the studio lines to get your thoughts across. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is Usman from Balade.
Please go ahead, Usman.
Okay, the people are blaming the military. They are blaming the military. When military are power, things are not difficult like this. You are saying, okay, now you are blaming the military. Okay, you said military give us a position. Why can't the democracy change the constitution? Why can't you change it? Because he favored the democracy people. That's why they keep the constitution that you said they need to give you. Why can't you change it? You have the party. Why can't you change it? You are not blaming the military. Blaming the military. Come to Lagos. Look at all these streets. You do like the military. Tell me, since 1999, where democracy started, democracy in Nigeria. What mention one thing where democracy do for Nigeria? Zero. Now, those are the bezel the money. Go to Cameroon. Look at the man over there. Like a 30 years old man. Still ruling. If the military take over now, they say they're blaming the military. How the 93 years old man see the president? He cannot even walk. Want to be president? If the military take over now, you use that for blaming the military. Blame the politician, blame Africa politician, blame Africa leader. They are the problem of their country. Look, come to Nigeria. Everything is not working. Nothing is working. They don't bestow the money to their family. Look at the country. You cannot even travel to your state because of your village. You cannot travel because of the insecurity. And you are blaming the village. Maybe we'll make me argue this morning.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Usman, for your contribution. 0805-092-0927. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Anifoshe is my name. I'm calling from Ota.
Please go ahead, Mr. Anifoshe.
Yes, when we talk about external intervention in other countries, the countries that are doing that, they are not stupid. They are not foolish. They know what they are doing. Nations do that for influence, for economic influence, so that they'll be sure that, look, the raw materials they need for the companies back home, they can get them easily from those countries where they have influence. And they can also sell their products there to those nations. So it's not as if they are stupid. They are not. They may realize that they have done more than they should have done in that area. Yes, and they want to cut back. But it's not that it's a stupid thing to have influence in other parts of the world. It is not. Then to talk about the problem of Nigeria, we talk about leaders. Look, everybody is a leader. It is stupid for us to expect that only those that are at the top are the problem. You go to any ministry, any part.
Hello. Oh my, Mr. Anfoshe, if you can call us back so that you can complete your line of thoughts there. Well, Mr. Bolawole, I believe that you can hear the callers because I'll still take your reactions.
Yeah, you said
you can hear the callers. I wanted to confirm that so that we take some additional.
Yes, I had some. I had some of them.
All right.
No, the line was email. Yeah.
All right, but please stay on the line. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from.
Manuel from Victoria Island.
Please go ahead.
I don't know. They might clamor for the military to take over. Even the military system of government is still corrupt. Will we have the chance to see the takeover in the country? Will we have those opportunity to communicate and speak on air? They will shut down when you go against them. They will come after you. The corruption is not just about our leaders. Even the citizens go to the market square and see the way people are corrupt. A common market seller, he says his or her aim is to cheat a customer coming to buy. Or the leaders, do they come from heaven? They were a commoner like me and you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. We still have time to take some additional calls. Our guest this morning is Mr. Bola Wole, who is a veteran broadcaster and a veteran journalist, and a public affairs analyst. Is still on the line this morning. So let me take your response to some of the calls before I ask you what I mentioned earlier, what Nigeria can do. You find a number of people glamorizing life under the military. Well, maybe you take us back a little and remind people what life under the military looked like back in the day.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, people usually have short memories. That was what Adolf Hitler and his propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels, made us realize that the human memory is very short. So the people's memory is very short. So when you're talking about the disadvantages of military rule, you must understand that, number one, Nigeria's population is 70% youth. 70% of Nigeria's population is youth. So meaning that 70% of Nigerians who never lived under military rule. So more than half of the population of Nigeria we're talking about did not experience military rule. So all these issues of talking about military, we will do this, military was autocratic, was dictatorial, they did not experience it. So they can't understand it. And don't forget that here in Nigeria again today, we don't study history again. They are just thinking of returning history into the school curriculum. So people don't know the history of the country. Our youth, they don't know the history of the country. What most of our youth know now is just social media, is just pressing phones, and it's things like that. They don't know the history of this country. You ask our people, now you tell them, Awolowo, they will tell you who is Awolowo. My son was asking me one day, who is Awolowo? I tell you, you ask him who is Awolowo, and you are reading international relations in the university. We ask you who is we talk about Azikwe, they will tell us Azikwe, what did he do? You know, because they don't know history. So we caught ourselves by saying that we were removing history from our curriculum. So the people don't know our history. They don't know the disadvantages of military rule. They can't look at who is Abacha. They will ask you, who is Gowon, who is this, what did they do? Why did they do it? And why must they do it? You know, because they were not there. They don't know. So we find a situation today where people are romantic about military rule, particularly when they see young military officers like the one in Burkina Faso. When they see the narrative that they are peddling about it on social media. At the time, I was even asking myself, I was asking Google, is it right? Is it true that he has brought in 1 minute the thousands of tractors from this? Is it true that he's doing this? Is it true that he's doing that? That is the narrative that people are telling now. Is it true that Niger Republic is now getting 10 times more from its uranium than it was getting when the civilians were there? Is it true? These are the narrative that the people are peddling on social media. And that's what people are saying. That's what people are believing. And they are saying that if the same thing can happen in Nigeria, if it can happen in this place or that place, then we'll be better off. So that is it. So people are not, a lot of Nigerians today, most of our population, they did not live under military rule. They did not experience all these draconian laws and things like that, the decrees and things like that. They did not experience all those things. So they don't know them. We don't know all those disadvantages. That is one thing you must understand. The second thing you must understand is that people generally, they know what is affecting them now. What is affecting people now is what they are saying. They are saying that where the military was bad, so and so, but is this one better? The one that we are experiencing now, is it better? Are we having the dividends of democracy? They promise us this. Are they fulfilling their promises and things like that? So people are disillusioned. So because they are disillusioned now, they are ready to go for anything. A lot of people now, their main concern is the fact that the government that is there, the civilians, they are not doing the right thing. They are not getting the dividends of democracy. That is all. There is nothing you want to talk to them about that they will listen to you anymore. So it is good for us to really understand why the craze for military rule and do something about it. It will not serve any purpose for you to be reminding people of the disadvantages of military coup. They will ask you, what are the advantages of civilian regime?
Hold on, sir. We have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Okay.
I sent a message to you on WhatsApp. Can you read it? Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll do that. So let's talk about how to rebuild confidence now. I think that's also where you are going. How does this democracy serve the people such that people continually and continuously see democracy as a better, type of government as against... Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Annie Foshi calling back again.
Okay, please just make it brief.
Yes, your last question is how do we get the confidence back? We people of Nigeria, we must demand for quality governance. We must demand for it. Ask when people bring out budget that you're going to do this in this year. At the end of the year, let us go back to those things they promised, if they have done it or not. Is it 5? Is it 10, 30%? Is it 80%? Is it 90%? That is the way we must put them on their goals. People that are asking for military, somebody called and said the military is the problem, and now some people are saying we are going back to military. What's that? That's confusion. People have short memory, like they said. If you know what the military did, what happened during the military regimes. Those that suffer the consequences, the cancer, the Abiolas, and the other ones, their families will never pray for military. It's because maybe they were too young, maybe to understand that. And maybe, if the military can just come for 2 years and show them, then they will know.
Well, that's not something that we pray or hope for. But thank you very much, Mr. Anufowoshe, for your contribution. Our time is almost spent, so we just get Mr. Bolaole to respond to how do we make this democracy viable such that people see democracy as the type of government to take us to the next level.
Yeah, thank you very much. One of our people who phone in has said it, that you see the pool from where we pick our leaders is not from the US, it's not from the UK, it's not from China, it's from Nigeria, and that pool is polluted. That pool is polluted from head to toe. The corruption we are talking about, the bad governance we are talking about, is not only about those in government, it's about virtually every sector of our society, whether private, whether public, whether military, whether judiciary, whether legislature, whether executive, everywhere, whether church, whether mosque. You have all these problems everywhere. So it is a problem that is national in character. It is not only about Fulani or about Yoruba or about Igbo. It is everybody, everywhere that is involved. This thing crept on us gradually, little by little, until corruption and maladministration and malfeasance became a national policy now. Now, if we want to eradicate it, there must be an emergency. We must have a national emergency. We must all agree. You see, I always say, elite consensus is missing in Nigeria. In the Western region, why Awolowo was able to do a lot was because the elites came together and they agreed that we are going to do this, we are going to do that, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. And corruption is going to be pegged at only 10%. That was why Uzibu called them the 10%ers. They will take 10%, and then they will make sure that the contract is done well. That's why you find some of the roads constructed by Awolowo, they are still standing today. Some of the buildings constructed by Awolowo, they are still standing today because they had consensus. Now we don't have elite consensus. Everybody just goes there and does whatever it is like doing and goes away, and that is the problem. We are talking about Singapore. When their leaders came in, they gathered the leaders, they agreed together when they were sent out of the Malaysia Federation. What are we going to do? They had a consensus. Nigeria, the elites don't have consensus. The political elites don't have consensus. And they don't have the idea that this is what we must do, this where we must take the country to. We will not do this, we will not do that. They don't have it. Everybody for himself, God for us all. This country cannot make progress that way until the elites, the political elites, have a consensus that this country must shun corruption, this country must do the right thing. We don't want federal character again. We don't want Sharia. We don't want all those things that are drawing us back, that is fueling ethnic and religious crisis. Until we decide to do away with them, this country is not moving forward. We are not going to have the type of development that we should have. Imagine the amount of money we have spent fighting insurgency. If that amount of money had been devoted to development, we will have gone somewhere. So those are the problems that we actually have. Like one of the commentators said, the polity itself, the entire polity is polluted. And you cannot go and import leaders from outside. But then we also know that the fish rots from the head. Every country that has been able to get out of what we are in now, even go to Rwanda, Singapore that I've mentioned, you need a leader. Nigeria needs a leader that will say enough is enough, a leader that will say that now is the time for us to develop, a leader like Murtala Muhammad that will come out and say, sorry, folks, I was corrupt. We were all corrupt. This is what I stole. I return it to the treasury. Let all of them make that declaration. Everybody return what you have stolen. Everybody make a commitment that this country must be different. That now we must run government, not government as usual again.
All right.
Until we have that consensus, this country is not moving anywhere.
All right. Well, we're out of time, but thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bola Bolawole, veteran journalist and public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Well, what a conversation we've had this morning. Apologies. The phone lines are still buzzing, but we can't get to that anymore this morning. My name is Buyega Olaniyi. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.
Mom, let's celebrate Christmas at its peak. I want Christmas lights so bright they could see it in space. Wow! I want a Christmas tree so tall players would have to watch out.
Think bigger!
Like what?
Pancakes stacked to the ceiling, delicious eggs, and a peak milk smoothie.
Just for me. Now that's Christmas at its peak.
Because truly, a peak Christmas is Christmas with Peak. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Looking for the latest high-quality electronic gadgets and home appliances at the best prices? Step into MI Plus Electronics, your one-stop shop for LEDs and smart TVs with 4K HDR, super bright screen display, wooden subwoofer soundbars, and home theater systems with speakers engineered to give you a surround sound experience. Our public address systems are powered